welcome to Carol's Universe, tarot readings from the heart. And today's reading is for the zodiac sign of Sagittarius. And Sagittarius, this is your March 2015 month ahead reading. So before I start Sagittarius, first of all, I'd like to say a massive, massive thank you to everyone who's ordered a reading with me. I've had some really, really good responses back. And if you want to order a reading with me, the link is below. I do pre-recorded video, pre-recorded audio, and also email readings. Okay. So I read for both UK and international clients. So I have had some people say to me, you know, how do I get a reading with you? I'm not from the UK. Well, it's quite simple, really. All you need to do is, once you've purchased your reading, go through to the PayPal page. You can pay via PayPal or your credit and debit card. If you're paying via PayPal, it will just convert the currency into where you are. Okay, so I just thought I'd give you a quick heads up on that, and the link is below. Okay, guys, so what am I seeing for Sagittarius for the month of March 2015? What I'm seeing, Sagittarius, is a situation where it almost feels like you're kind of feeling a little bit defensive about something, or feeling kind of a little bit of uncertainty about something. And I'll tell you what, we've got the King of Cups here, and we've also got the Nine of Wands. King of Cups is your, you know, this can, usually if I get one court card in a reading, and this is one court card here, I only have one court card here in this reading, and this is the King of Cups. So this would either represent, because it's a general reading, either a male water sign, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio person, or it could potentially represent a woman, I suppose, who would be of the same sign, or somebody with the qualities of the King of Cups, someone who comes across as quite kind, quite thoughtful, quite emotionally balanced, quite a stable individual. But for some reason during March, guys, it looks like there is something not quite right going on with this situation here, because we do have this guy looking over at the King of Cups like he's not sure about something, or like he's done something to him. And there seems to be an air of something going on there. This can either also represent emotional balance. What happens really with the King of Cups is, even though he is, you know, the type of really caring guy, he's you know, he's like your counselling type of guy, or maybe a nurse, or someone who works within the caring sector. He can even work within the arts, the creative sector as well. But he, on the surface, is a really kind of very much in touch with his emotional side. But if you look at the sea here, sorry, I'm not lifting these cards high enough. He's sitting on a sea. Whilst he's rock steady here, the sea is kind of sort of going in sort of dips and ebbs and flows and that type of thing, and there's kind of a little bit of a rockiness behind him, but it's almost like he's trying to keep a stiff upper lip, and he's trying to keep everything together. You know, he's been through some testing times, this guy has, and he's learned how to kind of keep a brave face on stuff. So maybe for some of you guys, you're keeping a brave face on something in March that's occurring, that's might have thrown you a little bit. But I feel that it's either a situation where you're needing to keep a brave face on something, or it's a situation where you're feeling a little bit, you're feeling slightly cautious maybe about this King of Cups person. Okay. We then have the Hierophant, and we've got the High Priestess. Both of these are very spiritual cards, but I see them as very different cards also. Whilst at the basis of them there is a lot of spirituality going on, there is also a different message with these cards. With the Hierophant card, I always think of this card as being the kind of say as I do and not as do as I say and not as I do, the kind of person that you put on a pedestal, the kind of person. These two guys here are looking up to this person here. Okay, it's almost like they've put him on a pedestal, like he's in charge, like he's the person who has all the answers and they don't. It's almost like adhering to a higher force, if you see what I mean, and sort of putting them on a pedestal and kind of adhering to their values and what they think is right, and not really having a mind of your own. It's almost like giving over control to something. Whereas the High Priestess, again, is a very deep, and I think it's deeper on a spiritual level than the Hierophant, personally, for me, because she's someone who kind of goes with her own feelings and her own thoughts. You know, she's the person who is kind of all-knowing. She's very much an intuitive individual. She relies on her gut instincts, and she lets that be her guidance system. So maybe for some of you guys, it's a case of that you in March, you're looking to kind of release yourself, maybe through a controlled way of thinking, maybe through a set pattern, maybe through something that maybe through a certain value system that you had, and you're being able to kind of rely on yourself to show you the way forward with something. So instead of relying on maybe what somebody else is telling you, or maybe how, you know, feeling restrained within something, you're being able to kind of release yourself within that. The High Priestess is also very much a card about lifting the veil of something. So kind of taking a look into that abyss. Do you see what I mean? Taking a look into that thing that you didn't want to look into before, kind of lifting, lifting the, what am I trying to say here? It's almost like opening up a curtain to see what's out there, you know, something that you didn't want to see before. And I feel with the Hierophant, it's slightly different because it's kind of all service. This guy wears this get up here, and this signifies who he is, but do we know what goes on beneath this? Do you see what I mean? So maybe there is a case of trying to explore or find out what is beneath something, you know, trying to kind of open something up. We look at this, I look at this, and there are two keys that are kind of locked. They're not open. Do you see what I mean? They're kind of crossed, which suggests to me that there is some sort of hidden stuff going on there, and maybe this is the release here, and having to kind of open something up and see it for what it is, you know, opening up that vault, lifting that curtain, lifting that veil to find, to see what, to discover what it is that you need to know about a certain situation. Maybe this is taking a look inside yourself. But I feel that there is some sort of cautious situation around something for some of you guys in March, and I feel that it's something that you need to kind of open up about. Something that potentially, for some of you guys, you're getting advice on, or someone's telling you one thing, but you really want to do another thing maybe. Or having to unlock something that you didn't really want to see before, but having to kind of face it, because the High Priestess kind of faces it, you know. She kind of faces her inner demons, her inner thoughts, her inner values, you know, she kind of faces them, whereas with the Hierophant, we're adhering to other people's values and not our own. We do have here the Four of Pentacles and the Hanged Man for March, Sagittarius. Very, very telling cards. They're both cards of limitation for me, definitely. This guy is holding on to something for dear life, and this guy is limited. Well, it depends on how you want to see it. He doesn't feel limited because he's quite happy, but if we're looking in the modern world, this is a card very much for me about limitation, and very much kind of having to accept a situation the way it is. Okay? But this guy here doesn't look like he accepts. He looks like he possesses. Possession is an acceptance. Possession is through fear. It's holding on to something because you're fearing losing it. But with the Hanged Man, this is all about limitation as well. So maybe there's a limiting situation for you guys. You're trying to hold on to something. Maybe this is creating more limitations for you within this situation. And the final card, Sagittarius, that we have for the month of March are the World card and the Two of Pentacles. So to me, the World card always signifies kind of the ending of something and the beginning of something. Something coming to a natural end, potentially. Or kind of coming to a conclusion, self-realization. The World card is the last card within the Major Arcana suit, okay? Within the Tarot. There's 22 cards in the Major Arcana, I think. And this is the last one. So right from the Fool card, which is 0, someone who sets out, who doesn't know where he's going, who kind of just wants to take a risk, who kind of just wants to kind of, you know, he values his freedom, and he's going on this journey of self-realization, and he's stumbling across all sorts of people and all sorts of things and all sorts of energies. We end up to the Fool really kind of coming to the pinnacle of his life. He's discovered everything. It's completion. It's the end of a journey. It's kind of the completion of everything he's been through. So maybe for some of you guys within this situation, there is a state, whether this is what you're realizing within your mind, or whether this is a physical action, there is a state of kind of self-realization, I feel, with the situation going on here. Maybe you're still having to juggle with your emotions. I always look at the Two of Pentacles, and even though it is about money on the surface, materialism, This could simply represent in the external world having to juggle your emotions about you're realizing here with the World card, you know. Sometimes when we have our eyes opened and we suddenly come to a point of, you know, an epiphany, a self-realization about something, sometimes it does make us question ourselves, and sometimes we have to kind of balance ourselves out, and sometimes we do have to kind of juggle with our emotions when we kind of come to a self-realization. It can work two ways. You can come to self-realization or the completion of something and feel that it's, with the World card, it's usually a job well done. It's really usually, you know, you're quite happy to come to that self-realization about something, and it makes you feel stable and it makes you feel calm. But because we've got the Two of Pentacles, I just feel that this is something whereby there is maybe a light bulb that's gone on, maybe an ending to the way that you're thinking about something, or maybe the way that you've done something with someone. And here it's kind of having to juggle your emotions over that. Still being on those stormy waters, but having to realise something with the World card. Realise maybe something's come to an end, or maybe, you know, something's come to a natural end or a completion of something. I feel, Sagittarius, that within March, just to recap, we're looking at a situation here where there is some kind of guarding yourself going on, and I think it's around the King of Cups. Now, this is either a situation that's going on that you're needing to kind of keep resolute about, keep your, you know, keep a brave face on, a stiff upper lip, you know, keep smiling through it, even though a lot of stuff is going on around you. Or it's literally a person, Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio person, who you're feeling a little bit kind of uncertain about, unsure about. The Hierophant is, for me, wanting to unlock the keys to wisdom. But whose wisdom are you unlocking the keys to? You know, this person is sitting on a pedestal. Two people are sitting and listening to him as if he is the be-all and end-all. So are you still locked, do you see what I mean, within a certain way of thinking? Are you adhering to something? And are you wanting to kind of release that secret? Are you wanting to face that truth with the High Priestess? Are you seeking advice on this situation from someone, but is your intuition telling you something else? You could be seeking advice from the angels, from God, from the universe, but still feeling that you're maybe not getting answers, and kind of feeling that you're needing to rely on your own intuition. But your intuition, remember, is always the voice of God in your ear, so it's usually right. Four of Pentacles, holding on to something still, not wanting to let it go. The Hanged Man, limitation, feeling limited within that, feeling a state of suspension, a state of limbo around a situation, almost waiting for an answer. The World card, potentially self-realization, the answer comes to you within this, which allows you to let go a little bit, but then you're still left with the feelings of kind of uncertainty and having to kind of balance something else and juggle something out. So I feel that within March, guys, there's going to be a lot of soul searching for some of you Sagittarians regarding a situation. This is what I'm feeling with the cards. There's going to be points of self-realization. You might not like what you find, you know, but I feel that it's essential for your growth potentially. So yeah, I think a month of soul searching for you guys. So guys, that's the end of your reading for March 2015. I'd like to say thank you very, very much for joining me. I will be back with your Law of Attraction reading. These are readings I'm probably going to be doing every 2 weeks, and they're really going to be kind of more motivational readings, if anything. So I'll see you on those next reading, guys. Take care.